Well, I didn't expect to be talking about this so soon, but Wargaming seems to be acting on what they said. And I've been pretty hard on them in the last few videos, and I think that it's only fair to say when they're doing things right. Can't just call them out for what they're doing wrong. We do have to acknowledge they are seemingly improving. So what happened is a dev blog came out detailing some of the steps that they're taking to deal with some of the bugs that are in the game. And while it is frustrating for bugs to be in the game, and that maybe it seems like their quality assurance testing isn't so good, maybe they're in the process of hiring people for that, that's not going to happen overnight. But what they are doing is detailing how they're going about fixing these changes. So the Torpedo Bug, if you didn't know, happened when you were turning back for 2 patches about ever since submarines were put onto the live server, seemingly as a side effect to that. Took them 2 patches to fix, and when the fix came out, a different bug happened where if you were pointing your camera or the center aim point close to your ship, it would change the angle on the way your torpedoes were sent out compared to where your torpedo launchers were looking. That's the new bug, and by the looks of things, they're trying to change it. So by the time you see this, they're already partway through, and you could probably go download the test server and see how it's going. So on the 14th, which is when I'm recording this, they are testing a fix that they might have in their studio. On the 15th, they're adding it to the public test server to test with their super testers. And then on the 16th, assuming everything goes well and this fix actually works, there will be an update to the main game. This is great to see. I love this. They did say in some of their apologies or statements issued to the community that they were going to do a better job of communicating how things happen and why things are happening. And this is really, really good. Bugs happen all the time. When you're coding things, when you're making games, when you're making programs, they're going to happen. And when you fix one, something else oftentimes pops up. So we can't be too hard on them for that, even though they did have 2 months to do it. To be fair, though, to them, this bug pretty much just happened less than a week ago, I think. And now they're already getting on top of it and trying to fix it. This is a really good sign, and I would love to see more of this in the future. This is really, really, really good. The next thing to talk about, and why there's a Missouri game going on in the background here. Well, the Missouri has a bug right now that happens every once in a while where one of your turrets essentially becomes a North Carolina turret, is what it seems like, where you have these higher lobbing arcing shells, and seemingly the dispersion's worse, but I'm not sure about that one. I didn't experience it myself. As you can see, everything seemed to be working fine. Actually, better than fine. I'm doing insane at the moment. We're not even 5 minutes in, and I've got nearly 90,000 damage. It's not a normal Missouri game, but there is a bug regarding that, and I only just heard about it last night, and this morning they already had a statement out about it where they're looking into the conditions and trying to see how they can fix that, which is awesome. This is way more communication than we've had about bugs and different steps to the process that we've had in years. This is really, really nice. And then one I didn't even know about was a mouse input bug, apparently only affecting Huawei computers. So not a huge issue for myself since I don't have that stuff here, but for some people that would be a large issue, and it's good to see them getting ahead of that one and trying to... I shouldn't say getting ahead. I actually have no idea when that one came out. So it might have been out there for a while, and now they're finally getting around to fix it, or it just came out and they're fixing it. But this is really, really, really good. The communication coming from Wargaming and the action now appears to be heading in the right direction to where this game could be a really, really good thing again. Fixing a lot of these bugs is a huge thing. Hopefully they can get onto some of the balance changes and communicating about why they're changing certain things. I'd love to hear about some of the Zhao and Petro balance changes that are coming up. They did talk about, as well as FDR. It'll be really interesting and telling when those changes come out, how they communicate, what they're using, the criteria to determine if those ships need buffs or nerfs, and then to see how they're going to buff or nerf them and how that's going to impact the game. I'm really curious to see that. This is just going to be a quick video detailing that little bit of stuff. But I'm excited. I wanted to get this video out there mainly because I've been so hard on Wargaming and the way they do things. And sometimes that gets a little bit depressing, and you don't want to watch videos just that are negative all the time. So we have to do a positive one when positive news comes out. I think that's only fair. And this makes me excited. I think in the coming days, I shouldn't say days, in the coming patches, by the time maybe 2022 rolls around, we could be on a very different trajectory than what the last couple years have been with this game. And I'm excited. I really do enjoy playing this game still. There's definitely things I don't enjoy in the game currently, but I still like a lot of the core gameplay, and hopefully Wargaming is going to get back to that and make this game really, really good again. I'm excited, but we do need to wait and see what's going to happen. This is a great first step in the right direction, but after so many steps in the wrong direction, we do need to see a little bit more to really jump back in and say this is a really good thing. This is the first little tiny step, and I think it's important to encourage that and to say that they're doing a good job as well. Seemingly that is important to them, to hear the community not only complaining when things are not going right, but they want to hear about the positive things as well, like any person would. You don't want to just hear negative things from people that you're somewhat in contact with, somewhat dealing with the product you're putting out. So here it is. This is good, Wargaming. Please continue. Now, with this game in the background, maybe you just got yourself a Missouri. Something you may find yourself needing to do is killing a destroyer in the backline. This is not something that you really want to do in any battleship at all, but the Missouri actually is capable of doing this. And it's one of the reasons that I'm running a bit of a secondary build, as you can see, 10.5 kilometers range on those secondaries. This helps you to deal with destroyers. As soon as you radar, you can click on them and get reasonable accuracy by the end. And a lot of times DDs either forget or they just don't think you're going to pop your radar, since there is that pretty substantial gap between the edge of your concealment and your radar range. It's not like a Petro. One of the things that makes Petro so broken is the concealment range of the Petro, and the radar range is so tight that oftentimes, as soon as you get spotted, you can just radar and spot the destroyer back. And here I'm just kind of waiting to see when torpedoes are going to come my way. I know they're coming, and it's an Azaccio, so that is a terrifying thing. But what we're going to do is hopefully get behind this island, see if we're still spotted after the Zao goes dark, or at least we're behind the island from him, and then we know he's maybe within the area, and yes, he's getting greedy. I do have Halsey here, so I should be swapping to HE. You swap in like 4 to 7 seconds, I forget what it is. I should have swapped to HE for that salvo. Would have done probably a little more damage, maybe broken some torp tubes, lit a fire, that kind of thing. But now we get our secondaries on him. This secondary pressure is going to be the key to us at least trading this fight out. We don't want to use all of our shells as soon as we have them loaded. It's important that we keep our turrets turned so that we're not going to out-turn our turrets and then we can't shoot. But I'm waiting for him to show me broadside. If we shoot at him directly bow on, we're probably just going to miss. We need to trade this guy if we're going to win this game. He goes for the torps, that's when I shoot. And then you'll notice I tried to go as horizontal to him as possible. That means that he at least has to lead my ship somewhat, and then if I slow down and turn, maybe that'll get me out of the way of the torps. We ate 3, not 4, and he actually didn't have time to get his second launcher off, so not a bad result there. Certainly could have been much worse. I'm sure that DD could have played things better, I could have played things better, but an interesting example of how to counter a DD. And here, I'm just going to leave you on one little clip here of why I think airstrikes are broken. I don't think I even need to explain this. I think it's just ridiculous that airstrikes are in the game. I think they need to be changed, removed. I really think planes are bad for the game. So I'll let you watch this, but let me know what you think about this Wargaming change of direction, if it's real or if you think it's going to be just a publicity thing until things go back to normal and the community calms down. let me know what you think. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.